Hello again. I guess this is the third part or third episode, something like that. Just random conversations, driving conversations. Right. So in the last ones, I touched a bit upon my philosophy that comes from my main occupation, my philosophy of life, or in a way my philosophy of learning, not entirely of life, because life encompasses a lot of different things. And I talked about failure and how failure allows you to grow wiser, to learn better new things, and failure is a necessary thing for growth itself. And I think I actually said everything I wanted to say about it. I don't think I have anything else to add. I remember talking about suffering and how it allows you to grow, except when it is such a deep, intense suffering that everything is misery. But even then, I think that when you get out of that phase, you will learn a lot. You will have learned a lot. But to get out of that phase, you need to do things that are difficult to do, and people mostly don't want to do them, which is analyze what went wrong, why it went wrong, and a lot of times you actually need to be someone else in order to get out of that dark place. And you need to understand that sometimes yourself is not good enough, and it's difficult to accept that, and it's a great source of suffering, understanding that something that you are fundamentally isn't good for you. But that happens, and sometimes you might think that there's nothing wrong with being the way you are, which makes everything much more difficult. But if it causes suffering, you should at least change it slightly. Slightly enough for you to at least deal with suffering with more grace and not be completely knocked out by it. I think that's the main focus to have. Yeah, that's my basic understanding of that. You need to, if something is going wrong, you need to understand why it went wrong. You need to understand how it can be improved, and when you don't know how to improve it, you need to change your way of thinking, and do something that's radical, but not radical enough to destroy or harm anyone, but your own concept of yourself. That is, don't harm yourself. Don't harm yourself. Don't hurt yourself. But change yourself. Change your ego, especially. Change who you think you are. Do something different. And well, when it comes to being better, you need to do things that involve other people. You shouldn't just be by yourself. It's always a very good thing to be by yourself and just enjoy the activities you do by yourself, and the pleasure and comfort they give you. But if you want to actually do something different, if you want to actually improve, you cannot be by yourself. And mostly you cannot be by the people that make you more comfortable as well. I think it is a bad idea when you are suffering to just keep yourself in the same place. You need to subject yourself to something uncomfortable, to something difficult, and you need to do that in a social way, especially, and you need to be able to talk to people. So establishing communities and being part of communities is a great way of trying to deal with suffering, with pain. Just speaking to people and trying to listen to them and understand them and see their motivations and their way of life. You don't really need to flat out tell them your problems and use them as a therapist. That isn't exactly what I think you should do, because, well, random people aren't therapists. But you should simply talk, see their perspectives. You can even take one of your problems and simply talk it out with a stranger. Of course, you need to evaluate, and you need to censor out a bit of the information so you can protect yourself. Well, of course, it's dangerous to just share something carelessly. But the main point I'm trying to give is trying to build a different community and trying to understand different people will help you understand yourself. It will help you in dealing with different choices and in really getting what went wrong before you were suffering. So talk to people. And in a lot of ways, I think a therapist is a trained one-man community, that always tries to give you the right answers to why you did something wrong. In a community, you always need to evaluate all the answers, and that's an important thing as well. You shouldn't take people's opinions as absolute. People are incomplete. You need to understand that. You need to understand that you are incomplete and you are talking to another incomplete person that might have something that you don't have. So your lack becomes a bit more filled up by their experience. And it's good to talk to different people, especially at different times, and then maybe even launch a discussion about it with different people, so you can get a better perspective, because different people live life in different ways, and it's good. That's great. It's awesome that it happens. Thankfully, it's always like that. That makes a community so much more valuable. But it's difficult to find. That's the greatest problem. Where to find that community? But you can try to build it up. It's difficult, but you can try to build it up. You can try to go to different communities that focus on something that's being problematic for you. Or you can simply just talk to different people, co-workers, someone that you trust at your work, someone that's sensible enough to understand that things are tough to everyone, not just that person in particular. There are a lot of self-absorbed people, So you need to filter them out, you know. Yeah, that's my advice. That's my advice. Like I said in the introduction, you know, uh, if you, the viewer, see or hear something that isn't right, that doesn't feel right for you, comment. Tell me what you don't agree with, and tell me what is your opinion about it, and I'll see to it, and if I change my mind, I'll try to retcon, you know. And as long as I keep doing this, my views will be forever changing. I'm reading and listening, at least to the best of my ability, different opinions about everything, to try to make the best picture of reality as I possibly can. So yeah, give me your opinions. They're always welcome, even if they are insulting. I love it, regardless. So that's that. I think I finished the conversation for now. I've reached my destination, basically, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.